Welcome to RPV City Talk. RPV City Talk is brought to you by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes to inform the community on recent city matters. RPV City Talk is a weekly show that features the RP Mayor, City Council, or City employees.
Hello and thanks for joining us on City Talk. I am Maria Sorreo, joined today by Councilmember Brian Campbell. Brian, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Maria. I'm happy to be here.
Very good. Now, we're here to talk today about the assistance, very exciting news that the city has been able to do with the local nonprofits, and you're going to give us a little update on that.
That's right.
Okay.
What we just did last week in our council meeting is extend our historical city support of good, worthy local nonprofits and other volunteer organizations that provide such a great service in our community.
So important.
It very much is, particularly during these tough economic times.
Sure.
And what the city has historically done is we have outsourced many of the services that these nonprofits do, both in providing services and family entertainment, that many cities have handled internally.
Right.
And what we've seen is over the last few years in the economy is as city budgets have shrunk, as tax revenues have gone away, that many of these internal services that have been operated by the cities are cut and they're disbanded, and the residents are the worst for it.
Exactly.
Rancho Palos Verdes is a contract city. And what that means,
I was just going to ask you that.
and what it means is that we outsource many of the services that other cities handle internally. We outsource our police department, we outsource our fire department, and we have found that we get much better economic and service deals when we do that. What we've also done, instead of handling a lot of these services internally, is we've outsourced them also through local nonprofits that are staffed by volunteers. And what we've been able to do as a contract city is run a tight financial ship, and we've been doing this for years and years, but we run an even tighter one during these tough economic times. So that instead of cutting funding from these local nonprofits and other organizations that provide really worthwhile family entertainment, instead of cutting that funding, we're actually able to increase that funding this year.
Okay.
We made a conscious decision that because some of these organizations literally are on the brink of not surviving this economy.
Yes.
Contributions are way down from residents across the board nationally. People are just simply tapped out from what they can continue to just give and give and give. And so what we've been able to do by having strong financial reserves is be able to step in and help some of these worthy organizations not just survive, but thrive.
Exactly.
And so that's what we did last week on council.
Now, how do you decide which nonprofits get the assistance? How does that work?
There's a very rigorous process that we go through. Now, some of these nonprofits have been around for a number of years, and we know them as a city. Our residents know them. I mean, Shakespeare by the Sea.
Right.
I mean the docents, for example.
We talked to Renee the other day. Yes.
Correct. I mean, some of the library, for example. I mean, the library annex, which provides just a terrific service to some of our local youth to be able to go to after school. So a lot of these organizations we're already familiar with, but we very rigorously look at their tax returns, look at their backgrounds, look at letters from other supporters, and we filter that through. And only the very best of those organizations end up getting financial support from the city.
Well, I thought it was interesting, the pool at Peninsula High School as well, the assistance, because people can actually go and use the pool, utilize that in the summertime.
And one of the reasons the pool is such a great deal is the money, the $80,000 that we allocated towards the new Peninsula High School pool comes from a dedicated source of income within the city, where we are restricted in only being able to spend that on infrastructure type projects.
Correct.
So that's a restricted, what we call a silo of funds. And for $80,000, as most of you know, you'd be lucky if you could put a swimming pool in your backyard for $80,000.
Yeah, exactly.
But for $80,000, what we're able to do is we're able to partner with a local private group here in the city that's helping Peninsula High School build a state-of-the-art swimming pool that will in turn enable residents of Rancho Palos Verdes to be able to have one more opportunity at outdoor swimming recreation during the summer. So
great.
we found that to be extremely cost effective in being able to increase our ability as a city to provide recreation activities for our families and children. Before Rancho Palos Verdes became Rancho Palos Verdes 38 years ago, we were part of unincorporated LA County.
Yes.
There's no way we could ever provide these sorts of services this cost efficiently if we were still part of LA County.
Right.
This is a good example, amongst many,
Yes.
of why we collectively decided to become a city 38 years ago.
Right.
I'm just one of 5 people on city council right now. Every one of us comes from private industry. Every one of us brings our own particular business experience and background to bear to work on policy decisions of how we can better deliver local government services for the betterment of our whole city and our residents.
Right.
I mean, that's why I'm there right now, is I just thought I could bring something with my particular business background. I'm in commercial real estate.
Right.
That would help round out the council and do a better job at doing exactly what we were talking about today.
Absolutely, and it just shows how much the city cares about the community and wants to be there for them, which
Right.
is so important. That's why we're here.
That's right.
Absolutely. Now, Brian, if people want to reach you for questions, how can they find you?
A good place if you want to do it by email is my RPV email address, which is brian.campbell, that's spelled BRIAN, Campbell, CAMPBELL, at rpv.com.
Okay.
Or you can follow me on Twitter at Campbell4RPV. And
Okay.
4 is spelled FOR and then RPV. So Campbell4RPV. You can follow me on Twitter. And
How long have you been on Twitter?
I've been on Twitter for probably just over a year or so now.
Very good.
So I enjoy it, and I've got a lot of good comments from people.
Well, as do many people, many people.
Right.
All right, Brian, thank you so much for being with us.
Okay.
Thank you for watching today. We hope you've learned a little bit more about our city. I'm Maria Sorreo, and we'll see you next time.